I get my jollies at Smiling Pirate. So you're not officially preaching until you pace. So for the next 20 minutes, times how many, I will no longer be Paisley, I'll be Paisley. So you try to loosen them up with a really bad joke, so they relax. Then you give them the whammy. And boy, do I have a whammy to give tonight. I'm very angry because I'm very sad and I feel very helpless, so I will vent. There's someone that I've reached out to in the love of the Lord, in the love of the Lord, and in the love of friendship. And I watched them get consumed with illness. And now, I feel like I've lost my chance to reach them. Like this big black cloud of death and loss just swept down and separated us long enough for him to be so far away that I can't communicate to him on the level I had been communicating. And I just know that the time has come and gone. I know someone else who recently had God move tremendously in their lives. And I watch shortly thereafter them being pulled away from being around the things of God for these wonderful things to take root and to grow and help this person become who they're meant to be in Christ. Recently, I met a man of God who actually blew me away. Excuse me. And he was someone who knew more Bible references than I did. He was someone who had a heart for every human being without judgment. He was someone who had just as many years as me as ministry training and experience, who did not desire to be the star, but just wanted to be around people to reach them. And I was so excited because God brought us together, and I said, this is amazing. This is someone who can really be a part of my ministry and really help reach people. And he's really nice looking and single. And and he called me today and said that he is leaving town because shortly after our meeting yesterday, his daughter was in a head-on collision and is fighting for her life. I do not over-spiritualize anything. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't turn everything into some mystical goo-goo muck. But I sure as hell know what Satan looks like. sure as hell know what Satan looks like. And I've decided 3 things in the last month of my life where I watched Satan swoop down and rob people of what God was going to do with them. Now, this man and these people are not to be judged for what's happened at all. There's no judgment coming from me. These are 3 people that I absolutely adore and would do anything to have them in my life and a part of my world. And they're not discounted. It's not over. It ain't over till it's over. But it sure is a setback. And it sure is the kind of thing, again, where someone could get pulled away and get distracted and then forget that God had moved and got them interested in the first place. And you bet I'm going to stay in the ring. You bet I'm going to be aggressive. You bet I'm going to reach these people any way I can. And you bet I believe in God that God's going to do something amazing. But it's hard enough to climb a mountain without someone purposely putting boulders in your path. It makes the climb that much harder and that much less pleasant and that much more dangerous. And it sets a person up more and more and more to fail, or worse, to lose interest. I glanced at my Bible today because that's exactly how much time I had. And I was looking for something that would catch my eye for tonight, and I reread the passage about the pools of Bethesda. That in front of the temple were these pools, and at certain times, an angel of the Lord would come and stir the waters. And if you were sick, you could get into the water and be healed if you were the first one in. And Jesus came across a man who had been lame his whole life, since the time of his birth. And he said, "So what are you doing here?" And the man said to him, I make it all the way here, but I can't get into the water by myself. And I always hope someone is going to throw me in the water so I can be healed. The guy was lame. I always think that when I read that. I'm like, you're lame if you think some able-bodied sick person is going to say, "No, I don't want to get well. I'll throw the lame guy in." I always think that. I always go, he really is lame. And I mean no offense to anyone who is lame, but, well, if you are lame, then you're lame too. Sorry. Paisley at PaisleyYankolovich.com. I'll have my secretary read it. And Jesus said to the man, "Take up your mat, rise and walk." I love how he tells him to take up his mat. That's always my favorite part of the story. It's like, don't just get healed and run off and leave your crap behind. Clean up after yourself. Take your mat and go. It seems so abrupt. Seems so short and curt, the way Jesus speaks to him. Well, maybe if Jesus had the kind of day that I had, or the month that I've had, or these repeated dealings with people that brush with the possibility of amazing breakthrough in God, and then get ripped away by Satan, maybe it gets a little old to see someone get so close and give up. I'm not claiming really good theology on this. I'm just speaking from my heart.